Hey guys, how's it going out there, everybody? Welcome. Larry here in Fort Worth, Texas, and this is Larry's Fountain Pen Review Time. So today we're going to talk about this creature right here, right down there. There it is. This is not what you think it is. This is what you might thought it was. So here we go. What we have here is the Jinhao version of the Big Red, the Parker Big Red, okay? So as you know, this is the Parker Big Red, the big famous pen that came out several years ago with the Parker logo on it, and of course that famous Parker arrow clip, the beautiful band, and of course the writing, the Duraflow on the barrel. Just really beautiful pen with, of course, a gold nib on it, beautifully done. Just a stunning fountain pen, beautiful fountain pen. So years later came out, the Chinese come out with their own version of the Parker Centennial Big Red, and here's their version. Now this is a medium nib, and here's another Centennial 100 in the orange. They have other different colors, so you know, I got the orange one. This one has a fine nib, and then this one has a medium nib. Okay, so they both have a little bit of ink left, and I'm going to show you how these two write. So let's do some weight thing here. We're going to weigh them up a little bit. Now they're saying that this pen, for what they've weighed it in, is going to be 28.4 G's. So this is the Parker Duraflow Big Red. This is 28.7 G's. Pretty close to that one. Let's see if this is correct. And this is 28.2 G, so that's pretty close. So they're almost the same weight. So then let's take the measuring stick to them. And we're going to put this in inches. Now the Big Red comes in at 5.13 inches. And the Jinhao 100 Centennial comes in at 5.45 inches. So let's match them up here. The Centennial 100 Jinhao is just a, as you can see, a tab longer right down in here, okay? So, but they almost look identical. Look at that. So now let's get a shot of the nibs, okay? And we can post it if you want, but I'm just going to leave the posting off. And we're just going to compare it with the nibs. Okay. Get a good close-up shot of this. Get everything straightened up here. Here we go. Look at the difference in the nibs. You've got a much larger nib on the Big Red right here. Look at the size of that nib compared to the Jinhao nibs, standard Jinhao nibs that are in there. Now, what they have in common is they both have the ink converter system. Now, this one is a little different because this one is a Duraflow. It kind of, even though it goes in there, it feels nice, snug, and secure. And that's a plus. So why is it important? Well, to me it's important because I hate for my nib to fall into the bottle of ink when I'm trying to fill it up. So, and here is the 100 Centennial that I've already inked up. Very nicely done. And the nib, the tip of the converter is a little different. But that also is nice and snug there as well. So let's look at these filling systems for a minute, because I find them very interesting. Alright, let's just leave them like that. Now, this is a new one. So, this has that silver looking tone to it, and this has that gold plated look to it. But you can tell they're just about like identical. Look at that. Just look there and here and here and here. So that's pretty darn close, wouldn't you think? So it's almost like a reproduction, imitation of the Big Red. Alright, so it's all about what's under the hood, meaning the nibs. So this is a fine and this is a medium. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you a writing sample on the Jinhaos. If you want to see the writing sample on the Big Red, I've already done one. You can look it up on my channel. So, what do you say we get it going here and do some writing real quick? But they both are stunning, good-looking pens, and then we're going to go back to the pens again and talk a little bit more about these beautiful pens. They still are a good-looking pen. I think they're like $14 and some odd cents. But, you know, prices are going up. It's not going to surprise me any if these pens start going up. So I'd keep a close watch on that. So here is the Jinhao. Okay. Here we go. And I just inked this up because it's almost out of ink, so I just kind of dipped it in the ink, okay? The Jinhao Centennial 100 with a fine nib. And it does write nice, very nicely. Reverse. Here we go. All right, and yes, it does really well, reverse writing. The nib is smooth. It's got really good ink flow. Feels great in the hand. Downstroke and cross stroke. Now we're going to do the medium. 100 Centennial. We'll do that one next right here. The downstroke, and you can tell it's a bit wider on the downstroke, and the cross stroke may be a hair wider, but it's kind of hard to tell. But I do see a significant width in the line variation on that downstroke. I don't see it weight so much on the cross stroke, but I can tell on the downstroke. Let's do some writing. And what you hear is not a scratchy nib, that's just a paper. Smooth, wet nib. Reverse writing. There you go. So, both the fine nib, medium nib, both right. Very nice. I like them. So, let's talk about the pen. You got a nice white band here at the bottom of the cap that does say the name Jinhao. And of course the Jinhao logo on top of the clip. A nice little ball at the bottom. And the Jinhao logo on top of the finial on top with another gold band around it, and the clip is attached to the band. As you go down the barrel, you find another little gold band down there at the very bottom, and at the end of the barrel is black. Twist off cap, and it does post, but it would be a little bit too long, so for me, I have small hands, so it works just fine. And if you have large hands, you can still hold it up here and still write pretty decent. But if you're a poster, then this is what it's going to look like. So that's entirely up to the individual, what their preference is. So, now let's go to the big red up against the Centennial, Jinhao Centennial 100. Look at the clips. They've changed it up. Different clip. Look at the bands. They're just about the same width. Maybe the big red may be a little bit wider, but it does have more on the band. Parker and the back, made in France, where the Jinhao just has Jinhao there. Let's go to the finials on top. You'll see the big red with their logo here, with the Parker logo up here versus the Jinhao logo up here. And they both have the same type of little rings on each here. And then we'll go on the barrel. The Duraflow, of course, has the name, everything engraved nicely in the barrel. And the Jinhao has nothing in the barrel. But as you go down the barrel, again, you'll see the little band here right at the very bottom, the gold-plated band. And then here's the silver band for the big red. So, again, identical there. These are identical. The bottom of the pin here, the barrel, has a little bit more girth than the Jinhao, as you can distinctly see that. So, it really is a nice pen. They just about did a almost perfect copy, but I'm sure they had to make it a little bit different, maybe because copyrights or whatever. So, if you're interested in the Jinhao Centennial, yeah, it's a good pen, cool pen, nice looking pen, writes well, handles well. For like 14 bucks, you can't go wrong. I mean, I'm sure you've seen buku reviews out there, but these are just my reviews on my views on it. Now, what takes me a bit longer to do a review is I actually use these pens continuously every day. I write with them that much to get the feel of these pens, to see how well they're going to hold up. Because, you know, you can write with them just maybe a quick review and then that's it. And then later you could find, as you use a pen, something could happen. But I want to make sure that if anything happens, I'm going to know firsthand what these pens can or cannot do. It's very important to me when I review pens. I just don't get up and review them. Okay, there's a da-da-da-da, and it writes fine, and everything's done. No, for me, it's a little more, takes a little bit more time, and that's okay. That's how I do my thing. You know what I'm saying? So when I show you guys, I want to be as close as I can to give you a good take on these pens. I don't want to mislead anybody, tell you one thing and then the pen does another. Now, both pens are consistent in writing, fine and medium, smooth, wet, good ink flow, not a problem. Now, that doesn't mean that you may get one that may be a flop. I don't know. But so far, these two pens came in at different times, because originally when I ordered the pen, I ordered the wrong color, and I needed this color to match it up with the big red. So I got this one that was a fine, so then went ahead and got this one as a medium. As far as the difference between writing using the big red, of course, there's no comparison. There's not even a need for me to even ink it up. This gold nib on this big red is just dynamite. You know, just a beloved fountain pen, one of my favorites. So, I hope you got something out of this review. I know you've probably seen a whole bunch of reviews already, and that's cool. But, you know, we're all different folks. We have different views. We have different opinions, different likes and dislikes. And these are just my views on these pens. You know, some people don't like it because they say the Chinese pen makers copy other pens. True. And some other people don't like it because political reasons. But you got to give them a thumbs up. It's pretty darn good fountain pen. And for the buck, you can't beat it, right? So I'm going to leave it at that. God bless each and every one of you. Stay safe. Peace, love, and virtual hugs. And my friends, don't text and don't drive. Please don't be a moron. With that said, I'm going to say peace. Love you guys. Later.